So I told you I was going to tell a little story. So I grew up not speaking Japanese because back in the 70s when I was little, gives you an idea how old I am, my mom was told not to teach us Japanese because we'd be confused with two languages. Now I know that's not true because I made sure to teach my kids Japanese, even though I wasn't perfect. I was amazed how their language was just in one part of their head. They didn't even have to think, like I have to, switch back and forth. It's kind of hard. But there was a point, so none of my brothers, I have 5 younger brothers, or I spoke Japanese. We really didn't know much about our culture. My mom made Japanese food, which I loved. Of course, yes, the food was amazing. But one day, when I was in junior high, my mom got a call from Japan, and none of us could understand what she was saying, but we knew she was so distressed. She was just crying, and we just didn't know what was going on. And when she was done, she couldn't speak to us at first. But we finally learned that where her sister lived, there had been a massive mudslide, and it washed their house away. My cousins, Hiroshi, who was 5, and Mika, who was 3, were washed away. And my uncle's parents, who they lived with, because in Japan you live in a multi-generational household, they also perished. And my uncle survived because he grabbed onto a roof, and my aunt, who is my mother's sister, she survived because she hung onto a plum tree all night long as debris and mud, and then finally water washed, kept hitting her body. She said this is decades later when she could tell this story, that she called for help, and that all the houses were washed away, no one could come, no help could come. But she was in the hospital for a long time, and she couldn't hear for a long time. Her ears were so full of mud, she couldn't speak because she was in so much shock. But this is something that I think a lot of people don't think about. If you've grown up in America or in any country, you don't know how it is to have family somewhere else. I'm thinking, gosh, if something happened to my mom, I would not be able to communicate to her family anything. So what happened is I learned Japanese in college. It was so hard. Oh my gosh. It was like, whoa. I remember back in those days we had cassette tapes, and rewinding that over and over to try to pick up a phrase because it was so fast. It's like, blah, blah, blah. And, well, anyways, I took 2 years. Then I applied for the JET program. Woo! Anyone gonna apply for that? Has anyone been on the JET program? Oh, yes! Woo! Shout out! It is a way to get to live and work in Japan, and it really changed my life. I finally learned how to speak Japanese, to listen and hear, and I lived in the town where my mother's parents lived, and for the first time in my life, I was able to really get to know my oji-chan, my oba-chan, and speak with them. It was magical. It transformed everything that I am today. So, okay. So, when people are telling you that you should put aside your culture, embrace it. It is worth everything. It's worth holding on for your heritage. So maybe someday you can live in the country that your parents came from, so you can maybe learn a cultural art. It doesn't have to be taiko, of course. It can be anything. Drums are in every corner of the earth. We are all human, and I really hope you can feel our passion for sharing our Japanese cultural art with you. And this song is really a fighting song, and we defeat the enemy in the end. And I hope that Yashawaka touches you the way we are touched to play this song for you. Thank you.